Before we start real exam questions for Seru TFL assessment, it's best to understand what is this test about. What is the TFL Seru assessment? It is a test private hire drivers need to do to remain or become a licensed private hire driver in London. The Seru assessment is a computer-based test that must be taken at a Transport for London office. The Seru assessment is made up of multiple choice questions and complete the sentence by adding the missing word questions. What is the format of the test? It is a 45-minute computer-based test with multiple choice questions and completing sentences by adding missing words. The assessment is made up of 37 questions, 18 multiple choice questions, 17 complete the sentence by adding the missing word questions, and 2 reading and understanding questions. In this video, I will share most possible questions answers which you can encounter in your Seru test. Each question is followed by multiple choice answers, along with the correct answer and an explanation. What is the legal requirement for displaying a PHV license sticker on your vehicle? The sticker must be displayed on the rear bumper. The sticker must be displayed on the front bumper. The sticker must be displayed on the rear window. The sticker does not need to be displayed. The correct answer is, the sticker must be displayed on the rear window. Legal requirement for displaying a PHV license sticker on your vehicle on the rear window. What is the maximum penalty for driving a PHV without valid road tax? £50 fine, £100 fine, £200 fine, £300 fine. The correct answer is £200 fine. Driving a PHV without valid road tax can result in a maximum penalty of a £200 fine. What is the legal requirement for displaying the PHV license plate? The license plate must be displayed on the front of the vehicle. The license plate must be displayed on the rear of the vehicle. The license plate must be displayed on both the front and the rear of the vehicle. The license plate does not need to be displayed. The correct answer is, the license plate must be displayed on both the front and the rear of the vehicle. The PHV license plate must be displayed on both the front and rear of the vehicle to be easily identified. What should you do if you discover a fault in your vehicle during a journey? Continue driving and report the fault after completing the journey. Stop the vehicle immediately and assess the fault. Inform your passengers and let them decide whether to continue the journey. Ignore the fault unless it affects the safety of the passengers. The correct answer is, stop the vehicle immediately and assess the fault. If you discover a fault in your vehicle during a journey, it is important to stop the vehicle immediately and assess the fault for the safety of yourself and your passengers. What is the maximum penalty for refusing to carry an assistance dog without a valid reason? £100 fine, £200 fine, £300 fine, £400 fine. The correct answer is £200 fine. Refusing to carry an assistance dog without a valid reason can result in a maximum penalty of a £200 fine. What is the legal requirement for carrying passengers in a PHV? Only in the front passenger seat, only in the rear seats. Any seat in the vehicle is permissible, only if they are known to the driver. The correct answer is, only in the rear seats. Passengers must be carried in the rear seats of a PHV, and it is not permissible for them to sit in the front passenger seat. What should you do if a passenger requests a route that you believe is longer than necessary? Politely refuse the request and suggest an alternative route. Follow the passenger's requested route without question. Inform the passenger that you will only follow your preferred route. Ask the passenger to provide directions for the requested route. The correct answer is politely refuse the request and suggest an alternative route. If a passenger requests a route that you believe is longer than necessary, it is acceptable to politely refuse the request and suggest an alternative route that you believe is more efficient. What is the maximum penalty for operating a PHV without valid vehicle insurance? £1,000 fine, £2,000 fine, £3,000 fine, £4,000 fine. The correct answer is £3,000 fine. Operating a PHV without valid vehicle insurance can result in a maximum penalty of a £3,000 fine. What is the maximum penalty for using a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV? £100 fine and 3 penalty points. £200 fine and 6 penalty points. £300 fine and 9 penalty points. £500 fine and 12 penalty points. The correct answer is £200 fine and 6 penalty points. The maximum penalty for using a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV is a £200 fine and 6 penalty points on your driving license. What is the minimum blood alcohol content? PA limit for PHV drivers 0.2 grams per liter, 0.4 grams per liter, 0.6 grams per liter, 0.8 grams per liter. The correct answer is 0.8 grams per liter. The maximum blood alcohol content PA limit for PHV drivers is 0.8 grams use. What is the legal requirement regarding child restraints for PHV drivers? Child restraints are not mandatory in PHVs. Child restraints are only required for children under 2 years old. Child restraints are required for children under 12 years old or under 135 cm in height. Child restraints are only required on motorways. The correct answer is child restraints are required for children under 12 years old or under 135 cm in height. PHV drivers must be ensured that appropriate child restraints are provided for children under 12 years old or under 135 cm in height. What is the maximum penalty for smoking in a PHV? £50 fine, £100 fine, £200 fine, £500 fine. The correct answer is £200 fine. The maximum penalty for smoking in a PHV is a £200 fine. When can a PHV driver refuse a guide dog or assistance dog? If the passenger has not notified the driver in advance, if the driver is allergic to dogs, if the driver does not want pets in their vehicle, a PHV driver cannot refuse a guide dog or assistance dog. The correct answer is a PHV driver cannot refuse a guide dog or assistance dog. PHV drivers are legally required to accept guide dogs or assistance dogs without any exceptions. What is the minimum legal requirement for PHV insurance? Comprehensive insurance, third-party insurance, no insurance required, personal accident insurance. The correct answer is third-party insurance. PHV drivers must have at least third-party insurance in order to operate legally. What is the maximum penalty for driving without a valid PHV license? £500 fine, £1,000 fine, £2,500 fine, £5,000 fine. The correct answer is £2,500 fine. Driving without a valid PHV license can result in a maximum penalty of a £2,500 fine. When is it mandatory for PHV drivers to wear a seatbelt? Only during peak hours. Only on motorways. Always when the vehicle is in motion. Only when carrying passengers. The correct answer is always when the vehicle is in motion. PHV drivers must wear seatbelts at all times when the vehicle is in motion, regardless of whether they have passengers or not. What is the maximum speed limit for PHV drivers on a single carriageway road? 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour. The correct answer is 40 miles per hour. PHV drivers are not allowed to exceed the maximum limit of 40 miles per hour on a single carriageway road unless there are signs indicating a different limit. As a PHV driver, you should check your tires regularly. What is the minimum legal tire tread depth? 1.6 mm, 2.0 mm, 2.5 mm, 3.0 mm. The correct answer is 1.6 mm. The legal minimum tread depth for tires on PHVs is 1.6 mm across the central 3/4 of the tread and around the entire circumference. What should you do if you suspect that a passenger is carrying a dangerous item? Ignore it and continue the journey. Immediately report it to the police. Ask the passenger to leave the vehicle. Check the item yourself. The correct answer is immediately report it to the police. If you suspect a passenger is carrying a dangerous item, you should prioritize safety and report it to the police as soon as possible. What documents must you always carry with you when driving a PHV? Driving license and passport, vehicle registration certificate and insurance documents, proof of address and credit card details, proof of PHV training completion and employment contract. The correct answer is vehicle registration certificate and insurance documents. As a PHV driver, you must always carry this vehicle registration certificate and insurance documents when driving a PHV. What must you do if you have a medical condition that could affect your ability to drive safely? Inform your insurance company. Notify your friends and family. Inform your passengers. Inform the driver and vehicle licensing agency, DVLA. The correct answer is inform the driver and vehicle licensing agency, DVLA, if you have a medical condition that could affect your ability to drive safely. You must inform the DVLA. When is it permissible to use a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV? Only in emergencies. Only when stopped at traffic lights. Only when using hands-free mode. It is never permissible to use a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV. The correct answer is it is never permissible to use a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV. Using a handheld mobile phone while driving a PHV is strictly prohibited at all times. What should you do if you encounter a road closure or diversion? Ignore it and continue on your usual route. Follow the diversion signs and adjust your route accordingly. Stop the vehicle and wait for further instructions. Consult your passengers and let them decide the alternative route. The correct answer is follow the diversion signs and adjust your route accordingly. When you encounter a road closures or diversion, make sure follow the diversion signs and adjust your route accordingly. What is the maximum penalty for driving a PHV without the appropriate insurance? £200 fine, £500 fine, £1,000 fine, £5,000 fine. The correct answer is £5,000 fine. Driving a PHV without the appropriate insurance can result in a maximum penalty of a £5,000 fine. When are PHV drivers allowed to use bus lanes? Only during off-peak hours. Only when carrying passengers. When displaying the appropriate permit or license. PHV drivers are never allowed to use bus lanes. The correct answer is when displaying the appropriate permit or license. PHV drivers are allowed to use bus lanes when they have the appropriate permit or license displayed. What is the maximum number of penalty points that can lead to a PHV driver's license being revoked? 6 points, 9 points, 12 points, 15 points. The correct answer is 9 points. If a PHV driver accumulates 9 or more penalty points on their license may be revoked. What is the maximum number of passengers allowed in a PHV? 2 passengers, 4 passengers, 6 passengers. It depends on the vehicle's seating capacity. The correct answer is it depends on the vehicle's seating capacity. The maximum number of passengers allowed in a PHV depends on the vehicle's seating capacity and must comply with legal requirements. When is it permissible to use a taxi rank as a PHV driver? Only if the rank is empty. Only if you have a special permit. Only if instructed by a traffic warden. PHV drivers are not allowed to use taxi ranks. The correct answer is PHV drivers are not allowed to use taxi ranks. PHV drivers are not permitted to use taxi ranks. Taxi ranks are designated for licensed taxi drivers. What should you do if you accidentally leave personal belongings in your PHV after completing a journey? Report the incident to the police immediately. Wait for the next passenger to find them and return them to you. Contact the licensing authority and report the lost items. Check with the PHV operator for lost and found procedures. The correct answer is check with the PHV operator for lost and found procedures. If you accidentally leave personal belongings in your PHV, you should check with the PHV operator to follow their lost and found procedures. What is the legal requirement for displaying your PHV license while operating? The PHV license must be displayed on the rear window of the vehicle. The PHV license must be displayed on the front windshield of the vehicle. The PHV license must be carried by the driver at all times. PHV license does not need to be displayed. The correct answer is the PHV license must be carried by the driver at all times. PHV drivers are required to carry their PHV license with them whenever they are operating a vehicle. What should you do if you accidentally hit a pedestrian with your PHV? Drive away and report the incident later. Check on the pedestrian's condition and provide assistance if necessary. Blame the pedestrian for crossing without caution. Ignore the incident if the pedestrian appears unharmed. The correct answer is check on the pedestrian's condition and provide assistance if necessary. If a PHV driver accidentally hits a pedestrian, they should stop, check on the pedestrian's condition, and provide any necessary assistance. What is the maximum penalty for driving without valid insurance as a PHV driver? Fine and penalty points, vehicle confiscation, driving ban, all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Driving without valid insurance as a PHV driver can result in a fine, penalty points on your license, vehicle confiscation, and even a driving ban. Reminder to subscribe the channel for more informative videos. Check out our app to prepare your test. Link in description. Here are some more important questions which you should not miss. What is the purpose of a PHV license plate? To indicate the driver's identity, to display the vehicle's age, to identify the vehicle as a licensed PHV, to promote advertising on the vehicle. The correct answer is to identify the vehicle as a licensed PHV. The PHV license plate is used to visually identify the vehicle as a licensed private hire vehicle. What should you do if a passenger refuses to pay the fare? Report the incident to the local authorities. Demand immediate payment before allowing the passenger to leave the vehicle. Let the passenger go without paying. Contact your company and follow their instructions. The correct answer is contact your company and follow their instructions. In the event of a passenger refusing to pay the fare, it is best to contact your company and follow their instructions on how to handle the situation. What should you do if you witness a serious road accident while driving your PHV? Keep driving and ignore the accident. Stop your vehicle at a safe location and offer assistance. Take pictures or videos of the accident scene. Call your friends or family to inform them about the accident. The correct answer is stop your vehicle at a safe location and offer assistance. If you witness a serious road accident while driving your PHV, you should stop your vehicle at a safe location and offer assistance to the best of your ability. In this video, we have shared 35 possible question answers for your Seru test practice, which can help you to pass your real exam. Also, we are covering other question answers for test, which can help you to pass your exam easily.